Dear students, a warm welcome to Learn the Digital Electronics in a New Platform. First, let me introduce myself. Myself, Purnima BS, working as a lecturer in Government Polytechnic, Channapatna. The subject code for the digital electronics is 15EE34T. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about the session number 3 of our Unit 1, that is IC Logic Families. The next we'll see what are the overall overview of this whole presentation. So the first we will see the different types of IC logic families. Next, the general characteristics of a TTL, ECL, CMOS. TTL stands for the transistor logic. ECL stands for the emitter coupled logic. CMOS stands for the complementary metal oxide semiconductors. Next, we'll see the comparison of these IC logic families, TTL, ECL and CMOS. Next, we'll go for advantages and disadvantages of these IC logic families. There are different types of IC logic families, but our syllabus is restricted to only 3 types of logic families, that is TTL, ECL and CMOS. Hence, next I'll move on to the general characteristics of a TTL. The first characteristics of a TTL says that it has a propagation delay of 10 nanoseconds. Nano refers to the 10 to the power of minus 9. The propagation delay is the time required by the logic gate to change its output from high state to low state or low state to high state when the input signal is applied. Then the TTL has a propagation delay of 10 nanoseconds, which means that it is very faster, which will give the output in a very fast manner. As soon as we give the input signals, it will generate the output. The next characteristics comes to power dissipation of 10 milliwatts per gate. In any of the TTL ICs, there will be a number of gates inside one IC. So the power dissipation is nothing but the total power which is required for the IC to operate. The total power is nothing but the summation of each power consumed in each gate of the IC. Hence, the total power dissipation is nothing but the product of the applied voltage and current. The unit of power we can say as a watts. As this TTL logic gates requires a very lesser amount of power, hence we are representing this in terms of milliwatts. Next characteristics is speed power product is 100 picojoules. Pico refers to 10 to the power of minus 12. The speed power product, as the name itself suggests, that this is the product of propagation delay and the power dissipation. This is the main characteristics, we can say this is the main characteristics by which we can decide the overall performance of the logic gate. Hence, the speed of a TTL is 100 picojoules. Next characteristics is the fan outs. It has a 10 number of fan outs. First, let me explain what is fan out. The fan out is nothing but the maximum number of loads that the output of the gate can drive without affecting its normal operation. Let me redefine this fan out. Fan out is nothing but the maximum number of loads that the output of a gate can drive without affecting its normal operation. So the TTL logic family has a fan out of 10 gates. Next, the basic gate for a TTL logic family is NAND gate. The next characteristics is the fan-in. The fan-in of a TTL logic family is 8. The fan-in of a logic gate refers to the maximum number of inputs it is designed. The fan-in of any logic gate is number of inputs it is designed to have. So, in this characteristics, this fan out and fan in characteristics of the very important characteristics of any logic family. Next comes the noise margin level. The TTL family exhibits a noise margin level of 0.4 millivolts. First, let me define what is a noise margin. Noise margin is the ability of the logic gate to prevent the unwanted noise signal. Hence, its value is 0.4 millivolts. The noise margin is the ability of the logic gate to prevent the unwanted noise signals. So, these are the some of the important general characteristics of a transistor logic families. Next, we'll move on to the general characteristics of a emitter coupled logic. Here also there are some of the general characteristics. The first is the propagation delay of 1 nanoseconds. The ECL family has a power dissipation of 40 milliwatts per gate, which means that each gate in the ECL IC will consume a power of 40 milliwatts per gate. The ECL family exhibits the speed power product of 0.5 picojoules. The speed power product is again the product of the propagation delay and the power dissipation. So, ECL families exhibits a fan out of 25 numbers. The basic gate in case of a ECL logic family is either OR gate or NOR gate. The ECL has a fan-ins of 5 numbers. It exhibits a noise margin level of 250 millivolts. So these are the some of the general characteristics of a ECL family. Next we'll move on to the general characteristics of a complementary metal oxide semiconductors. The propagation delay of the CMOS we can say to 25 nanoseconds to 100 nanoseconds. Next, the power dissipation of the CMOS is 0.1 milliwatts per gate. Again, this power dissipation is nothing but the total power consumed by each and every gate in CMOS ICs. The speed power product of a CMOS is 0.7 picojoules. Pico refers to the 10 to the power of minus 12. The CMOS has a fan out of 50 numbers. It has a greater number of fanners when compared to the TTL and ECL. The basic gates used in case of a CMOS are NOR gate or NAND gate. The total number of the fan-ins in case of a CMOS is 10. So CMOS exhibits an excellent noise margin, means the ability to avoid the unwanted noise signals. This CMOS exhibits an excellent noise margin level. Next we'll move on to the comparison of these three IC logic families, TTL, ECL and CMOS. So TTL and ECL uses the device as a BJT, bipolar junction transistors. The CMOS uses the MOSFET as its device. The noise margin level for a TTL is lesser than the CMOS, but it is more than the ECL. When compared to these three IC logic families, the CMOS exhibits a very good or excellent noise margin level. The propagation delay of a TTL family has 10 nanoseconds. In case of a ECL, it is 1 nanoseconds. In case of a CMOS, it is 25 to 100 nanoseconds. From these three comparisons, we can say that the ECL logic families are very faster. which means which gives the output in a very fast manner when compared to this TTL and CMOS. The speed of a TTL is 100 picojoules. The ECL has 0.5 picojoules. The CMOS has a 0.7 picojoules. The next parameter we can say is a power dissipation per gate. The TTL accepts a power of 10 milliwatts, ECL 40 milliwatts, CMOS 0.1 milliwatts. From these three logic families, we can say the CMOS will requires a very lesser amount of power for its operation when compared to this TTL and ECL. Next parameter is fan out. TTL has 10 number of fan outs, ECL has 25 number of fan outs, whereas CMOS has 50 number of fan outs. When we compare to these parameters, this CMOS exhibits a larger number of fan outs. Next parameter is fan in. The TTL has a 8 number of fan ins, ECL has 5 number of fan ins, whereas the CMOS has 10 number of fan ins. So we can say the CMOS has a very good amount of fan ins when compared to this TTL and ECL. The next parameter is the basic gate. The basic gate used in case of a TTL is a NAND gate. In case of a ECL, it is OR gate or NOR gate. In case of a CMOS, NOR gate or the NAND gate. The last parameter is the application of these IC logic families. So the TTLs are basically used in laboratory instruments. The ECLs are used in case of a high-speed instruments, and the CMOS are used in battery-operated portable instruments. So when we see this overall comparison of this TTL, ECL and the CMOS, we can say the power dissipation of a CMOS is very less when compared to this TTL and ECL. And this CMOS has a very high noise margin level when compared to this TTL and ECL, and it has always more number of fan outs and fan ins when compared to this TTL and this ECL. Next, we'll move on to the advantages of a TTL. First advantage goes like this. It has a fast switching speed. Let me explain what is this switching speed. The switching speed is nothing but the change of state, output state from low to high or from high to low as soon as the input is supplied. So, which says that it is a very fast. It operates in a very fast manner. Next advantage we can say no damage is done if the inputs are left unconnected. If any of the input pins are not connected, then also nothing will happen to these TTL ICs. The next advantage is it accepts a moderate power dissipation. So the next advantage is it is very less in cost. It is a moderate packaging density. First, let me again repeat the advantages of this TTL once again. It has a fast switching speed. No damage is done if the inputs are left unconnected. It has a moderate power dissipation. It is low cost. It is moderate packaging density. Next, we'll see what are the disadvantages of a TTL. It requires a stabilized voltage, lesser number of fan outs. It has a lesser number of noise margin. It has a high power dissipation than the CMOS. Let me repeat the disadvantages of TTL. It requires a stabilized voltage. Stabilized voltage means it requires a constant voltage. It is having a lesser number of fan outs. Next disadvantage we can say it has a lesser noise margin and it requires a more power for its operation when compared to a CMOS logic families. Next we'll move on to the advantages of a ECL. So first advantage is it is less propagation delay of 1 nanoseconds. The propagation delay is nothing but the time required for the logic gate to change its output state. It is showing this as a 1 nanoseconds. We can say this is a very fastest logic gate. The parameters do not vary much with the temperature. These parameters are constant if we vary the temperature. And the next advantage is it produces the output and its complement. No need of inverters. Complement refers to the if the output is low, the complement is high. If the output is low, its complement is high. Or if the output is high, its complement is low. It does not require any of the inverters. Next advantage is it has a good number of fan outs. Next advantage is the ECL gates do not experience large switching transients because current drawn from the supply is steady. These will not exhibit any of the switching transients. Transients are basically the unwanted signals, we can say. So this will not experience any of the unwanted signals because it will draw a constant supply from the source. Next we'll move on to the disadvantages of a ECL. ECL families are not compatible with other logic families. Hence, it needs a interfacing circuits, which means that when we are using any of the ECL ICs with any of the TTL or CMOS ICs, we can't directly connect both the ICs. We need a interfacing circuit between these two ICs. Hence, the name it needs a interfacing circuit. It is not compatible with the other logic families. The additional cooling circuit is required. So, ECL logic families requires additional cooling circuits because while doing the operation of the ECL ICs, it will get easily heated up. If there is a more heat, the ICs will be gets damaged easily. So, in order to avoid these damages, we need additional cooling circuits. Next disadvantage is it requires a maximum power. This requires a maximum power for its operation. The power dissipation per gate is more. ECL logic families requires a more power for its operation. The noise margin level is low in case of a ECL. Means the ability to avoid the unwanted noise signals in case of a ECL is very less. Next is high cost. It is little bit expensive. Next we'll move on to the advantages of a CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductors. It consumes less powers. For the operation of the CMOS, it needs a very minimum amount of power. CMOS can be operated up to 18 volts. The CMOS ICs can withstand up to 18 volts. It has an excellent noise margin level. This we have seen in the comparison of the different IC logic families table also. It exhibits a excellent noise margin level. It has a good number of fan outs when compared to the TTL and ECL. It is very cheap in cost. Next we'll move on to the disadvantages of CMOS. It has a low switching speed, means it will not give the output as soon as the input is supplied, means it will require some time for its operation. Susceptible to the static charges. It has a greater propagation delay. As the switching speed is low, means Obviously, the operation or propagation delay is more. As it is having a high propagation delay, the switching speed is less. The point first and 3 are interrelated. These are the some of the disadvantages of a CMOS logic families. Next, we'll move on to some of the multiple choice questions on these types of IC logic families, TTL, ECL and CMOS. The first question goes like this. The TTL is a transistor-transistor logic because both the logic gating function and the amplifying function are performed by the option A, resistors, option B, bipolar junction transistors, option C, one transistors, option D, the resistors and the transistors respectively. Can anyone of the think about what is the answer for this question? The answer for this question goes like this. The BJT is the answer for this question because in the comparison table we have seen the device used for the TTL family is BJT. Hence, the answer for this question is the bipolar junction transistors. Next question is, the TTL device consumes substantially dash power than the equivalent CMOS devices at rest. The option A, less, option B, more, option C, equal, option D, very high. This question answer is also we have discussed in the comparison of the three logic families table. That table gives the answer for these questions. So the TTL receives a more power than the CMOS. Hence the answer for this question goes B, that is more. The third question is, in an ECL, the output is taken from the option A, emitter, option B, base, option C, collector, option D, the junction of emitter and base. The answer for this question also we have already seen in the comparison table of the three logic families TTL, ECL and CMOS. So the basic device used in case of a ECL is the BJT device. So BJT is a device which has a three terminals. One is a emitter, base, collector. So collector terminal is used as a output for this ECL logic family. Hence the answer for this question is C, that is collector. The next question is, the full form of a CMOS is the option A, capacitive metal oxide semiconductor, answer B, the capacitive metallic oxide semiconductor, option C, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, option D, complemented metal oxide semiconductor. The answer for this question is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Hence the option C is the right answer. The fifth question, the CMOS technology is used in option A, inverter, option B, microprocessor, option C, digital logic, option D, both microprocessor and the digital logic. The CMOS technology can be used in both the microprocessor as well as the digital logic. Hence the right answer for this question is both microprocessor and digital logic. That is option D. And these are the some of the model questions which may appear in your examination. First one is the list the characteristics of TTL, ECL and CMOS. The next one is compare the characteristics of TTL, ECL and CMOS. Next one is the list the advantages and disadvantages of TTL. Next question is list the advantages and disadvantages of ECL. The last question is the list the advantages and disadvantages of CMOS. And this is the list of the team members who have worked for the successful launching of this session. If you have any doubts or any suggestion in this session, you can drop a mail to lms.dtech@gmail.com. Thank you.